Are you both coming in together?
So he's being put in the cell now as I'm being taken out to do my paperwork. So when I've done my paperwork, I'm going to be put back in the cell with him. And I've never met him before. The first thing he said is, I'm having top bunk love.
He wants to. Oh,
yeah,
you're having.
He does. That's what prison life is hard, and it moulds you into somebody that you didn't think you were, or didn't think you would be. But all of the, it's a horrible environment. Let's get it right. It's a fucking horrible environment, but you adapt to any environment you're in. It doesn't matter where you put. If you was put in the desert and you had to survive, you would adapt to survive.
It was the sugar and the coffee and even milk probably, because I used to put my milk, as you know, by the window because you get cold.
But then it's cold. Advertising it's those that have got nothing, that you're somebody who's got something.
But you don't even know whether they've got nothing, bro. Like they might have a load in their thing, but they're there to test to see whether they can take advantage of you.
Whether you're vulnerable, whether
you know what I mean. That's what
I go in. I buy the only filtered coffee they got. I run back, make my coffee, and I go like this. Here's my cup. Just made a coffee. Fuck me, that's good. What the fuck's that? And I looked, it was Jacob's Kurung, the coffee that I've been buying in prison for the last fucking 6 years. And then what's really...
No. Did you hear what I just said?
I did, yeah.
That's a psychic bird kick. That's a yoga flame. That's a yoga flame comment there, you know. There's bad people out here like there is bad people in there.
It's exactly the same.
The Ribcage Podcast. The Ribcage Podcast. Now in tune to the Ribcage Podcast.
Yes, welcome to the Ribcage, folks.
Ribcage Podcast.
Come on,
Back again.
love that.
Tell a friend.
Good to have you back. Missed you for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, today, Ribcage. Let's go back to what Ribcage is about, isn't it? First, I think Ribcage. Yeah,
Men's mental health.
Good.
Overcoming the trauma in your life and the obstacles.
Beautiful.
Growing to be the man that you want to be.
Yeah, I would say that. Going to the man, you past trauma.
Mm-hmm.
How you got to it, how you got there, and how you got over it. You know, give it to the bare bones. We want to see straight into your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. You know, to be fair, we've had a lot of sort of serious talks and being quite sort of open about us and our lives and that, but obviously it's just us two here today, which is
and it's still going to be serious, Hawks.
I'll try and keep it clean. Right, so
you've been up to things,
yeah. Well, the things like the reality is we've done a lot of serious stuff, and this is going to be serious, but there's been a lot of interest. I've had somebody send me a question today.
Jeez.
To be fair, and because obviously we've spent time in prison and we've touched on it, I think, haven't we? But everybody seems to be really interested in the stories and sort of like what's been going on. And I don't know. I just thought maybe can I read this question out?
Absolutely.
And let's go from there.
Let's go.
I don't know. I thought it was interesting. How violent and how sexualised is prison?
Can I ask the first question?
How violent and how sexualised is prison?
Was that a woman?
That was a woman.
I knew that.
Becky, I love you.
I knew
She's
that.
an amazing person.
I knew that. So you're going in with the woman question.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Oh, you've just hijacked.
Do you know how this came up?
It.
I mentioned I was doing the podcast today.
Oh man, come on.
And she says, "What's the topic about?" And I says, "Well, we haven't really decided yet. We've thrown a few ideas around." And I says, "You know, what sort of question would you want to ask me if it was a podcast?" And she said, the first thing she said was, "Is it true that you can't drop soap in prison shower?" I know it's meant to be serious, but I said it's a big myth. She goes, "But that's why they invented holes in soap with a piece of string going through, so it could be hung up." I says, "Fair enough." She goes, "But I know that's not a very serious question."
Well, excuse me. What's this thing about holes in pins?
Well, apparently, soap.
She's saying this.
Soap, yeah. I didn't know this, but apparently soap can come with a hole in it, but you can put a piece of string through it and hang it up.
Oh, right.
So then if you're in a shower, you can't drop it. And apparently it was invented in prisons.
Okay.
I don't know whether this is some sort of urban myth or something.
Must be some
it
American
sounds a bit crazy. Yeah, maybe it is.
America, because them man there do serious damages.
But she said, like, the most thing she's curious about prison was how violent it was.
Yeah.
and like the sexualization, whether what everyone believes going on is going on. And I thought, yeah,
Oh man, okay, sorry. I was just
take a minute, Dale. Take a minute, man.
I was just trying to take this serious about the pins and all that type of stuff. And wow, like really, people do think like that. Yeah, that is. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Okay, if we're gonna be talking English places, listen, I've been inside. You've been inside. Been in the same place. Like, there's a thing that we English boys do, and I don't know whether the Americans do, but I don't from the movies. But that's why I don't even want to say the movies. We go and have showers in our boxes. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. Like, listen.
Yeah, but not everyone.
Well, listen. So, like where I've been, most of the jars that I've been to, I think it takes a maturity to sort of think, yo, I'm not that way inclined. I'm not gonna rape you while you're in there or something. But a lot of the places that I've been, especially when they've not got the when they haven't got the separated cubicles and it's like all the cubicles, all the showers are all open, you see a lot of men wearing their boxers.
Yeah, that is true. But that's a security thing, because a lot of people feel vulnerable in there.
I think exactly. It's not because about dropping the soap.
No. See, I was the opposite, you see. I always went bare naked because I know it'd put people off.
that would have put me off for real. But then I would have thought brave of you. I would have thought brave of you. You know what I'm saying? I would have thought fair play to you.
No. This is I'll give a little story actually. This is like I found it because I really don't care. I'm quite comfortable with me. I'm quite comfortable with who I am.
No, you're not, because we could have had that other conversation to it.
Like, I'm comfortable about me. I'm sometimes not comfortable about speaking about certain stuff on air.
All right, then, okay.
So but I was in Featherstone Prison. So we're going to talk about some experiences in prison, aren't we? So why don't I just throw an experience of this subject in? I was in Featherstone Prison. I was only don't know what was going on. I think it was just after COVID or something. But what was going on? We're talking 2-3 years ago.
Wow. Okay.
So
it's recent.
Yeah, recent. 2021 maybe, something like that. And I said, So I used to get that out for literally. We had an hour and a half out, but I used to train really hard, 45 minutes, like literally every day, 45 minutes.
On the wing.
Tops, on the wing, yeah.
Wow.
But just before I finished training, I'd run in the shower and get showered. But I wouldn't take any of the clothes with me. I'd take my towel and my fucking shower gel, and I'd get showered and I'd be in there and I'd enjoy myself all off every day. It's this sort of thing, not giving a fuck. I don't wear my boxer shorts or anything. Then a couple of the Muslim lads come up to me and says, "Oh, do you mind not doing that?" I said, "What do you mean?"
For real?
Yeah. Fucking, do you know when you got your ass out every day? So I says, what
do you mean? While you're in the showers, or?
Oh no, got out the showers, drying myself in the communal area. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
But how do you dry yourself when you? Do you know what I mean? So, but it was really sort of like,
wow,
it affected them. Do you know what I mean? Because I just didn't give a shit. But
so still in the shower area, but in the communal part of the shower.
Yeah.
And they're saying, "Yo, do you mind?"
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think people's idea of what prison is, a load of men in the shower and you're going to get raped if you drop the shit. It's so far from the truth. For me, it's just sort of like an urban myth.
I think you'd more get battered than getting raped. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, because they're thinking that stop showing all your bits out. You know what I'm saying to you? I think it's different. I think it's different in England.
I think it's like a respect thing, though, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to throw a spanner into the woodwork or whatever they call it. Yeah. Like, or is it? You know what I mean? Is it insecurity? That's what I was gonna say. You know what I mean? Because like.
Of course.
Come on, man. Like, okay, if you want to keep it 100, I know who I like. I know what I like. You know what I'm saying to you? If I've had a shower, I've come out. This is the communal area. I'm drying myself. You come and tell me, can you please be a bit more decent? Like, what are you looking at me for?
Yeah, it's true.
Do you get what I'm saying to you? So, I mean, that was just to sort of maybe have more conversation or put a spanner to wood, like I said. Yeah. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like,
coming back to what she said, sexualization of in prison, like the bar, it doesn't really happen. And I spent about I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, chatting away to her. I was chatting away to her, and I was saying, you know, I've never experienced seeing any sort of sexual relationships in prison, although I know that it does happen. And
Sexual relationship.
Yeah.
I got a story.
Tell me.
Shit, you said that, man.
Tell me.
Oh, dude.
Is it shocking?
Oh, dude, this dude, man, used to go on like as if. Oh man, this is actually it's actually trauma actually. Yeah, this dude was like in Cat D. This was.
Mm-hmm.
So did I go to a DCAT in 19? Yes, I was in a DCAT. Hill Grange.
Yeah.
Hill Grange. I left,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad you can't say no names. But this dude, he was the geese, you know what I mean, like Doug's bollocks, and like he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the person who he was fruity couldn't hold his mouth, I guess, because like he wanted to let people know that.
Oh, like the other, like his partner, like his partner was talking.
So they're not even partners. So I'm reading this bit as in like two men shagging each other in there.
Yeah.
So it happened in Hill Grange. Yeah, Hill Grange, man. This dude was banging some fruity dude.
Yeah.
And the fruity, well, he's fruity now, we know, but he wasn't fruity because he was hench, and you know what I'm saying to you, he was the man. You get me, from the ends, you know what I mean. From when I say ends, from Birmingham as well. You get me. And, you know, they got that sort of aurora about them type of thing. Get me. So, you know,
I want to ask you the name, but you can tell me.
No, I'm not gonna tell you the name, bro. No chance. You know what I mean? You know, but he got it though. He did get it, and I think what people did not appreciate was, if you're that way inclined, just say it. Like,
be authentic with yourself.
If you're gay or or you're bi, then just do it, man. So
So I was chatting away to her, and I was saying, you know, I know it happened, and it went on, and there was some obviously gay lads in prison. One of them actually were closest friends in prison when I was on the last one, was a gay guy, and he was actually saying to me that he says all of these men around, and he says, I feel so lonely. That's what. I'm not going to say his name, but you know the man I'm on about.
I know the guy.
He used to braid my hair.
I know the guy. Yeah.
So
him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's cool.
Yeah, cool as hell. One of the nicest guys I've ever met
cool.
in my life. Yeah. So big up to him. You know you are. He's got the only name in the world. Nobody else is called his name. You know. But anyway, we're digressing here. So I was speaking to her, and I said, I've never seen anything like this in prison, but when I was in prison the last time, I was speaking to like a health rep, and they said, guess how many condoms the prison order a year?
You tell me.
I forgot the number because it's so big, but it was thousands.
No way.
So if they're ordering thousands of condoms, then a lot's going on, but you don't get to see it. No. I've spent 7 years inside. I've hardly seen any.
I don't want to see that though, Stu.
I'm not. I ain't saying you got to watch it, mate.
Sorry.
They invite you. You don't have to go.
Maybe I took that literally, like, but well, yeah, okay. But, go on then. So,
but yeah, that's just my 2 pence on that. The violence,
yeah. I mean, I really do not. I don't see much of it. It's not something that I'm interested in. Maybe that's why I'm ignorant to it, you know. But I met that. I told you about that story about that guy. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was another one that happened there. Mm-hmm. I think Hill Grange was. No, there was another one that happened at Sudbury. Mm-hmm. Sudbury. There was another one there. And I feel like as if I'm not even going to say it because that's going off topic here. Yeah. But I don't really. I because I'm not into it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it happens a lot, you know what I mean? Really, truly. But it's by the numbers of condom that he says that it's.
Can I ask you a question though? Obviously, people want to know. What's the reason that they want to know? Why do people want to know these things?
Because I think it's the movies, bro. I think it's the movies. It's the and people think, you know, this movie is based on, it's all true. And you know what? Actually, if you watch things like Borstal, Borstal, English movies. Mm-hmm. About prisons.
Yeah.
What you see in English prisons is rows. people getting torn up, ripped up. You know, when I say ripped up, not batty ripped
What
up.
is this your experience in prison? Or?
Absolutely. I'm watching, because what I was gonna say was, people think what happens in movies is true, but I reckon it is. I think it's a subconscious, is subconscious, but they're making you believe it's not true, but it is true. But most of the things that they do watch is American based, but American based, they're different. So if you're talking about dropping a soap in America, I ain't picking that soap. I'm kicking it to that other guy.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Kick that away, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
Kick that away, and I'm walking out. You know what I'm saying to you? But in English, that myth, I think, it's not, but it happens. But not even the showers. You get what I'm saying to you? But what happens in England prison is violence. That's what I see.
A lot of violence.
A lot of violence.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go on.
If you don't mind. So I'm quite happy to answer the same question. What's the most violent thing that you've experienced in prison?
Ooh, I mean, it's not rape. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen people being sliced up. You know what I mean? Sliced. I think this geezer's back got sliced. You know what I mean? And then hot water and sugar.
Yeah.
I remember this brother from Dovegate. He was a good geezer as well, you know, tall black fella. We were doing barbering together. And, you know, nobody's got the bottle to sort of like hit on him, but you could just pay some geezer whatever they paid him, because the geezer who done it was just some little punk. And they just hot water. What is it?
Hot water and sugar.
Hot water and sugar.
Kilo of sugar in a
Jeez.
kettle. Top it with water.
Wow.
Boil it till it's a syrup.
Wow. It tore.
Deadly weapon.
Tore his skin
I've seen it,
off,
mate.
man. And I was so gutted for him.
Falling off.
Oh,
yeah.
God, man. Imagine he's black and then all of his all white now. You know what I mean? Because it took his skin off. And as for that, that's the most. I mean, I see fights, but that's not.
And it's probably for a stupid little debt.
Yeah, probably. Or talking to me like a...
Yeah.
No, like, you disrespected me.
Yeah, exactly.
But I reckon probably debt, because debt's an issue.
Massive issue. But,
what about you? What's the most violent you've seen?
I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, especially sort of 2016, 2017 in your prison. It was... you bought... At the time, they had free flow. So free flow means that in the mornings when they unlock you for work, every wing can move down the corridors together to work. Now the problem is with that, because there'd be debts that need to be paid and blah blah. You'd always be getting people cut up on them free flow walkways every morning. They'd be blurred and sirens go. It was unbelievable. But the most traumatized, the thing that really sticks in my mind more than anything, and I think I'd only been in prison maybe 2 months or something, 3 months, or I literally just, you know, right at the beginning. And it's first thing in the morning, waiting for, no, sorry, it wasn't first thing in the morning, it was in the evening meds, just before we was waiting for our food. And there was a geezer in the meds, coming up to the meds hatch. And I was stood in the queue. I was right behind him, literally from a metre you away. And this little fat guy comes up to him behind him and just goes down his neck. And I saw what he did, really calmly, really didn't think, and he walked away. But fucking straight away, fucking blood was everywhere. And because there was an officer there and like organising the queue, you know, making sure that people, she got a towel or a sheet or something, she put it on his neck, and it was like it had been dunked in a bucket of blood. There was that, and the geezer was as white as your cup. Never seen him.
Did he die?
Took him away, never saw him again. The weird thing was, though, the geezer that had sliced the neck, they took him away. We thought he'd gone down seg. 48 hours later, he was back on the wing.
Yeah.
And this guy was only little schizophrenic, or there was some issues going on.
Do you think he did it?
Huh?
Do you think he did it for himself, or someone paid him to do it?
It was for £20. He wanted £20 for the member.
He wanted £20 member.
And so he did it for somebody else.
I get you.
The guy had a small debt.
I get you. So to get that
paid £20 member to go and
slice somebody,
£20. I mean, this is
this is
I don't know. Like my first My first night in prison was, I know, I mean, like, what was your first night in prison like? Can you remember it?
First night in prison. First night in prison. I do know about the keys. The keys used to frustrate me. I'm going like torment. The keys. I'm always thinking they're letting me back out. It's been a mistake.
Yeah.
And the keys just fades away.
Yeah.
It's not my door.
Yeah.
Wankers.
Yeah. I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not my door. Oh, that used to frustrate me, man. Used to frustrate me.
I'd forgotten about that.
Oh,
But I'm with you. I know that feeling. I went straight back
that
there.
used to frustrate me.
Please
I'm
let
thinking
me out.
they're coming to my door to let me out. It's all been a mistake.
Yeah.
But
I'm not bad like they're saying I am.
It's not.
I'm not guilty. I'm not.
I don't know where the thought was. Why? Obviously, I did what I did.
Yeah.
So I was in there for a reason, but I still wasn't concepting what was happening. I just thought maybe this is a bad dream, because what followed on from that would be I'd wake up and I'm thinking I'm at home, and then when I open my eyes, I'm still here. Oh my God, that was a burner.
Thinking, are you still in a nightmare? Is this a living nightmare? You wake because you go to sleep and that's your only relief, and you wake up into a nightmare, and then you've got the smell. For me, the smell of prison. Yeah. For years, the smell of prison to me was rubbish. I know it sounds like, do you know, like you smell at a festival, that hot steaming rubbish, and when people made wicks out of toilet paper to light their fags. So twist the toilet paper up and light it, and then have it there all night as a wick. So the smell of that smoke. For years.
So the smell of the smoke while you're having a shit, or
yeah, but do you know that? But before, when you could smoke tobacco, you had tobacco in prisons. If you didn't have a lighter, if your bats get banged up and you didn't have a lighter but you had tobacco, you'd get a piece of tissue paper and you'd roll it up into a very, very tight spiral.
Oh, I didn't know
about
that.
so thick.
Didn't know that.
And then get somebody who's got a lighter to light the end before you went in your cell. And then that big long piece that all you've got to do is keep on.
Oh, wow.
Do you know what I mean? So you've got a light all night, but the trouble is, what you've got is burning tissue paper, filling your cell with, you know, all night. So
yeah, it was disgusting for me. I mean, I remember walking through the door, and I really didn't know how I should act.
Yeah.
Because I knew that I wasn't going to win, but I also knew that I didn't want piss to be taken out of. And I'm talking with the officers now.
Yeah.
Because I knew I had to befriend the officers so that I could get away with what I wanted. I knew that, but also I don't like them either, because we class them as the feds.
Yeah.
So like, you know, all the squatting and all that type of stuff, that is true. You got to do all of that. Do you agree? Yeah, you gotta do all of that. You know what I mean? Make sure you're not secreted anything. I remember all of that. You know, and then oh God, because when you don't know you're going to jail and you have just your first clothes that you get sentenced in, you are so reluctant to wear a next man's boxers.
Yeah.
Because that's so unhygienic.
Yeah.
But after 2 weeks, so imagine now, I've just said to you, so that means for 2 weeks, I was reluctant to wear the prison.
Clean boxers.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'd rather stay in my boxes. Oh, man, no. So all those things come back to me.
But that process of, I'm going to speak for my...
The process.
The process. So there's me in court. All of a sudden, no criminal record in the past. All of a sudden, I find myself in Woodhill Prison, Cat A, and I'm like, how the
Where's
fuck
that?
have I ended up? That's in Northampton, Milton Keynes.
I've been there. Is that a dogs?
It's the one, yeah. They've got the dogs.
Got dogs.
The big triangle wings with
my
the big glass on the one
Jesus.
side.
Oh, Lord God.
It's I didn't like
It's
that
Northampton. I was curious. Is there one in Leicester? Sorry to interrupt.
Maybe yeah.
you.
There's yeah. Leicester. Is it Forest Bank? Is it? I don't know.
Is there, oh, okay. Sorry,
I
carry
don't
on.
know. But anyway, yeah. So you get into because obviously you don't know what's coming, and you're in the dock or you're in the court, and they're saying, "Well, we're remanding you into custody." And you're thinking, "What does that mean?" Because I didn't know what remanding meant. God's honest truth, I didn't.
Oh, you got only remanded?
And they told me,
Shit, you got remanded and got sent down quickly.
Yeah, it's straight. Yeah, and I'm thinking, what's remanded? And Mr.
Dangerous, you are, mate.
You go into prison. I'm thinking, what the fuck am I going to prison for? Don't worry, we'll do a video link for when you get in. Next thing you know, you're down in the court cells, stressing, panicking. Next thing you know, you're on a little GeoAmy bus and you're stuck in a little square, no bigger than this. Probably the seat's bigger.
That's right.
Do you know what I mean? And you sat in the hard chair with a
That's
load of
right.
other people all fucking
Chatting shit.
talking crap. Some of them like they're going home.
Shit.
Yeah, it's just like
Sorry, God, for swearing, but
it's true.
that annoyed me that day.
It's hard because you're at your lowest point and you've got to listen to all of these people talking about crap that really has no interest to you.
And also, I think, sorry to interrupt again, some people who have been in and out of prison and who find it trivial. You know, like
Yeah, exactly.
the ones who were chatting shit. You know what I mean? Like
They've been back 10
they've
times
been
already.
back 10. Yes, yes.
This is normal.
Yeah,
And then what you do? Then you turn up at the prison after an hour or two's drive.
yeah. Oh,
You're taken off individually off the bus and processed.
wow.
They take your clothes off you, anything that you've got, strip you down,
Yeah.
put you in prison clothes. You have to squat and all that, like you were saying. Put you on a chair so you haven't got anything inside you. Give you a crappy meal of food,
Disgusting. I remember.
if you're lucky. Then you're waiting for hours and hours and hours to see the nurse. By the time you get onto the wing, and by the time you get to your cell, it's late at night, sometimes really late, and you don't care where you are, you just want to get into that bed.
Yeah.
But it's a hard learning curve. That, like you say, that first morning waking up and them doors coming out and you walking out into the wing with all them people.
I'm actually tense right now.
I know.
Thinking about
it. I feel exactly the same.
I'm actually tense right now because, it's not nice. You know, it's not nice. It's not nice.
Can I tell you my first night?
Yeah, go on.
Because it's fucking bad.
Oh God.
So, never been to prison before. Found myself at Woodhill Prison, get put on their induction wing. I get put in the cell straight away. There's nobody in this Cat A, yeah. There's nobody in there. They come and unlock my cell to take me back out into the main communal area to do my paperwork, my induction paperwork. As I'm walking out the cell, this lad comes in the other way. He's probably, I'm guessing 26, 27, something like that. Black lad, gold teeth from London. Says, I'm having top bunk, bruv. First thing he said to me, I walked through the door, I'm having top bunk, bruv. I said, you can have whatever bunk you want, mate. Walked out.
Are you both coming in together?
So he's being put in the cell now as I'm being taken out to do my paperwork. So when I've done my paperwork, I'm going to be put back in the cell with him. And I've never met him before. The first thing he said is, I'm having top bunk, bruv.
He wants to. Oh,
yeah,
you're having.
He does. That's what he said.
Oh,
He
okay.
wants it. So I thought, well, he's trying to dominance. Trying to... So anyway.
Unfortunately.
So I get in the pad and he starts talking about how he's in there for human trafficking. He had prostitutes working for him. When he got arrested for stabbing one of them in the stomach and got caught with 2 kilos of heroin. But he was saying it like it was a badge of honour. Do you know what I mean? And he was saying it to try and scare me. Do you know what I mean? The way that he was going about it. But it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting tired. The light's still on.
You still talking?
TV's still on. I'm lying on my bed. He's talking. He's actually talking to himself now. So I've been chatting and I'm thinking this guy ain't right in the head. So I'll just get in the bed. First night in prison. Trying to concentrate on the TV. Can't concentrate on nothing. But it's late. So I get up. I switch the light off and I turn the TV down and I lay in bed. Next thing I know, the light goes back on and the TV gets put up on full volume. I did it again, nice and calmly, didn't say a word. Standing like at this point, I'm sort of like finding it hard to nod off. You know, I'm thinking this is a bit what's this guy capable of? Do you know what I'm saying? What is he going to do? Never been in this situation before. So I'm just nodding off. The next thing I know, I can smell something. I'm like, what the fuck's that? It's he's done a wick. Do you know those wicks that we was just talking about? But he's made it about that fat. And I says, what the fuck you doing? He says, incense. He looks at me and smiles. Turns the TV right back up again. I'm like, fucking hell, what do I do here? So I'm lying in my bed, and all he's doing is on top of the bunk, shaking the bunk.
Is he trying to irritate you or something? Or
He's not right. He's not right in the head.
For real?
Not right in the head.
Wow.
Like many people. I don't think, but it's my first night in prison. Next thing I know, he gets down, and in your cell you've got this thing called a bubble chair. It's like a chair, but it's like hollow in the middle. And he gets off and he gets on this bubble chair and he walks it with his feet over to the toilet. So he stood on the chair. He puts the seat down on the toilet, starts pissing on top of the seat. Looks.
Wait. There's a toilet, and there's the seat.
Mm. He gets off the top bunk onto the seat. Does that over the floor, like walks with the chair to the toilet. Puts the toilet seat down, starts pissing on top of the toilet seat, turns around to me and smiles.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
I'm thinking, I'm really, really sort of like starting to get a little bit anxious. What's this geezer gonna do? I've already put this wick out in thrown this wick out in the toilet, so I'm lying on my bed trying to fall asleep. The next thing I know, light goes on, TV goes up, another wick's there, and him up there talking to himself again.
Oh man!
I says, fuck this, I'm having this. I says, listen, mate, I got up, I was angry. It's 3:30 in the morning. You get the nice side of me, you can get the bad side of me. It's completely up to you. I'm a lot older than him, do you know what I mean? He shouldn't be. And he just starts laughing at me, but I can see a little bit of fear in his eyes. So I thought I'd leave it at that. So there's me, one eye open, falling asleep.
That's horrible.
Absolutely worn out.
That's horrible.
Next thing I know, my eyes just look at my eyes, and I can see little bits of flame coming down to the floor. And I must have nodded off because he got all of the food out of the bin, mashed potato, jacket potato, whatever, all of the rubbish, and he put it all over the floor. Then he sat in his bed with one of these wicks, and he's throwing the embers down, trying to set it alight. That's it. I'd had enough. I lost the plot.
Trying to murk you, bro.
This been going on for like 3 hours. Like, you know,
trying to kill you, bro.
So I
Burn you alive.
grabbed him.
Human sacrifice.
Pulled him off. I did. I pulled him off the bed, dragged him down,
Ugh.
pinned him up against the wall, shouting and screaming. But the shouting and screaming actually had been going on throughout the night. But all I could hear was on all of the doors, "Whee!" Induction Wing. They could hear something was kicking off at 3:30 in the morning. Next thing I know, all of the officers, 4 officers, come to the door, open the door, look at the cell. They said, what the fuck's going on here? And I said, that's this cunt here. And then he starts having a go at them. So before you know it, he's like that, one on each foot, one on each arm, being dragged out of the cell.
First night.
And the officer, they'd closed the door, and he comes back 5 minutes later and he goes, I'm ever so sorry, Mr. Hawkins, I know it's your first night in prison. Would you like another cell? Because the cell was writ off. And I says, no, I just want to go to bed. I was just that fucking down there. And I was lying in bed after he'd been taken out. I was thinking, this is what I'm going to get every single night while I'm in prison. And my first night, you couldn't have asked for a worse first night, do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was hard, man. And the fact that I'd come from a place which was dark, you know, losing my daughter and all that, and then being thrust into this environment with that person in front of me, that was the start of moulding me into a different type of person than what I was.
I appreciate that, you know, Stu, because it brings me back to, mine was not as severe as that, but I do remember, like, I went to Armley, so that's from Coventry to Leeds, and I went up there with a kid called GC.
Yeah.
Blessings to him. He's still alive though, he's not dead. He's cool. Yeah, I'm glad that he was actually with me, because it would have been so lonely. So I can imagine you went to this place by yourself, you didn't know nobody. No, I had this kid. So it's a bit different. But my experience was going all the way to Leeds. I think it took nearly 4 to 5 hours drive from Coventry to Leeds. Now, the top bunk scenario,
Yeah.
I kind of like tasted, sorry.
Yeah.
But I wasn't too fussed about that bit,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? But what I started to understand, I spoke to you about the door, the keys. That's when I experienced the
Yeah, yeah.
keys. Thinking, and then thinking that I was in the wrong place. And Armley is like a castle. It's an old castle.
Yeah, yeah.
Dead, cold. And what I experienced there was being kind. You cannot be kind. Because if anybody comes and asks you for sugar, that's it. You're getting 100 people through your door. And I would have people, I remember, I'm about it, you know. I'm not, I believe I'm not a mug then, you know what I mean? So, you know, kind of wary, but still, you know, if we have to go in my cell, we'll go.
Mm-hmm.
So the brazen, they'll walk through your door, walk straight in, bam. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. He hasn't licked me.
Yeah.
He hasn't put his arm on, his
Yeah, I know
his
what you're
hands on
saying.
me. So okay, look. And you can see them literally looking round. You know what I mean?
And what are you doing at that point? What are you thinking?
I'm just, I think at that specific time, I'm not sure what's going on. What I'm thinking is going to go on is it's going off.
Yeah.
You know what
so
I'm
you're
saying?
preparing yourself.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I know.
So
I know. I'm with
what
you on
I'm
that.
thinking is that it's going off. But what they're doing is seeing what they can have and what they can rob or what they can have. And they'll test you with, that was my first experience of prison. They'll test you with like, can I have some sugar? Can I have some coffee?
You got any tea bags?
Tea bags, all those type of
Yeah.
things. And
You got any
that's,
empty vapes? Got a bit of
oh,
tobacco?
no, there's no vapes in them times.
Rizzler.
There's no,
You got a Rizzler?
Probably Rizzler. Yeah, probably Rizzler. But I don't smoke,
Yeah.
so that was cut off. It was cut off for me. It was the sugar and the coffee and even milk probably, because I used to put my milk, as you know, by the window. It's because you get cold,
I know.
to
But then
make
it's
it
like
cold.
advertising. It's those that have got nothing. That you're somebody that's got something.
I don't even, but you don't even know whether they've got nothing, bro. Like they might have a load in their thing, but
True.
they're there to test to see whether they can take advantage of you.
Whether you're vulnerable. Whether
you know what I mean. That's
you
what.
prey.
That's what I got. That's what I got from the first. That's what happened my first night. As I've done a couple of sentences in jail now and realized that's what was happening to test me to see whether I'm a weakling. You know what I mean? So, I didn't get that. That's traumatic. I mean, I said it in the meeting that we had yesterday. You know, the seminar yesterday, where I was sleeping, and you know, you have this rule where if you're gonna have a shit, do it when you're out of the cell. So we kind of had this understanding.
Let me just stop you there a minute, because I want people to understand that your cell's only about, if you're lucky, 12 foot by roughly 6 foot. And it's roughly about that two lengths. I know it's 5 steps long, 5 of my steps long, 5.5 maybe, 2 steps wide. That's how big it is. And where was I going with this?
You're just telling us the size so I can finish.
Yeah, toilets.
Yeah.
You've got a bunk bed in there and a toilet, and you have to share this space with this person 24/7. So I think people might not have.
Yes, exactly. With a bunk bed.
Yeah.
When you move up, you could get 2 flat beds, but I was in a bunk bed.
Yeah.
So we have this understanding, and this now is at the Green. Yeah.
Birmingham,
HMP. So we have this understanding, and then everybody was doing what they needed to do at the right time. But for some freaking reason, I'm sleeping. And you see what I've never forgotten this is because it tormented me. Because I probably would have killed, I wanted to smash this dude up, man.
Yeah.
So I'm sleeping. And I know, because remember, it's like, I think it was my first night, because it was the induction wing, you know, in my induction wing. And I'm sleeping. So, you know, once you finally get your head to bed, head down, you kind of like go.
Yeah, you
know
do.
what I mean. That's why when you wake up, because you have a dream, you have a sweet dream, thinking you're back at home,
Yeah.
and that's when you wake up, you think, oh shit, I'm still here. So I was in a deep sleep. So imagine what woke me up from this deep sleep was this idiot
Of home.
of home. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Was this idiot having a shit? It's, you know what? I'll give you to laugh, man.
I've been there.
Freaking disgusting.
I know it is.
And like, because my head was you choose what space you are, and I think about it now. No, I don't. I think my head, where I was laying my head, was the side of the toilet. I should have laid it the other side. But how dare he? I would rather him done it when I was awake, not when I was sleeping.
And so what you're saying is your head was about 12 to 15 inches away from his ass when he's going.
Well, no, I'd say a bit higher.
A bit more, but it's still too close.
Because I was at the top bunk.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was
yeah,
at the top bunk. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So you're top bunk.
I was top,
fair enough.
I was top bunk,
yeah.
bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because I think it was for that reason. It was too close to the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was at top bunk, but it was so disrespectful, so disgusting. And I said to myself that from that day on, I will never. I mean, I ain't going back to prison again.
Yeah, no,
I know. And I've never had a Padmate since.
I know. I'm looking if I got signed off by a psychologist to have a single cell. I don't know how many years ago, 2019 or something. So I've been very, very fortunate. But I have had Padmates. I had this one Padmate. I want to tell this story because it's sort of quite funny and sort of quite sad at the same time. But I want to tell it.
I'm still traumatized by that. It's not funny, bro. Like, that was having a shit while I was sleeping, bro. Who does that? My wife would never dare do that. It's fucking in the house. Sorry, God, for swearing.
Is there any experiences in prison that don't traumatise you? Do you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like if you think you're going in unwell, you're definitely coming out unwell. So,
come on. I don't know. That's too deep for me to think, man. But still.
Yeah, but I'll tell this story. I had this Padmate,
fucking hell.
And he was in for he's been married. He's got a couple of kids, but he was in for stalking his wife. She had met somebody else. Anyway, he's still on the phone to her. But every night, all he would talk about 4 or 5 hours with his girlfriend. And every night I'd get the same stories. But this one night he says to me, oh, she's been on Tinder 5 times. She's only 3 of the guys were nice. I didn't say anything. She's had her tongue pierced. I wonder why she's had her tongue pierced. I didn't say anything.
Huh?
3.
She's saying this.
He's saying this to me because she's told him. Weeks going past, 4 hours a night, all I've got him is talking about the same things. I lose my shit. I lose it. He's there in tears on the thing. Love my missus, blah, blah, blah. I'm going through the same thing. And I said, and I had to do it because I had to be cruel to be kind. I says, your girlfriend's been out on 5 dates. She's only slept with 3 of them, the 3 that she liked. And the reason she's had a tongue pierced says she can give them all good blowjobs. Mm-hmm. And I said it how it was. Sounds horrible, doesn't it? But to have to persevere with somebody, a stranger, telling you their problems 24/7, smelling their ass 24/7, listening to all the crap that's going on in their lives 24/7, it drives you insanity. It hurts you.
When you say smelling their ass, I know you mean they're having a shit as well.
Yeah. So I just fucking, I don't know, man.
That's prison life for you, bro.
Prison
That's
life.
prison life for you, bro. Like,
It's
you know what I
dark.
mean? Like, you gotta, like, that's why that saying is but I get it. If you can't do the fucking time, don't do the crime. Sorry, God, for swearing. It's so true, bro.
Yeah, but these people aren't thinking when they're doing the crime. Oh, I don't think people think like that. Criminals,
Of course not.
Criminals don't think, if I do this and get caught, I'm going to prison. Criminals think, if I do this, I'm going to earn this much money. I think it's as simple as that.
No, I think the thing is, if you can't do the time, you know what I mean? Like, the time. I'm not talking about the 5 years now. It's not just that. You know what I mean? Like, they should think about, can I stand somebody having a shit while I'm sleeping? Can I stand somebody being sliced? You know what I'm saying to you? You get me?
You have to get used to it though, don't you?
That's what. Well, if you can't do that, if you have the time to
can't do
reflect,
it, yeah.
if you tell yourself, I can't handle all of that, don't do the fucking crime then. I guess that's how I saw it.
But it's hard.
That's how I
Man.
saw it.
Yeah, prison life is hard, and it molds you into somebody that you didn't think you were, or didn't think you could be. But it's a horrible environment. Let's get it right. It's a fucking horrible environment. But you adapt to any environment you're in. It doesn't matter where you put. If you was put in the desert and you had to survive, you would adapt to survive. You would find water. You would find shelter. Exactly the same in prison. I think you adapt. But what do you think that does to you when you? Do you know what I mean? When you get out of prison, having to adapt to that environment. Have you had any like?
Can you put that in simple terms for me? Because
so
I don't get it.
That's all right. So you go to like so for me, I go to prison. You're constantly a little bit wary. You don't trust nobody, all that sort of thing. So you build up these barriers, and when you come out, do those barriers affect your like normal everyday life? Like building relationships, for example. Was it when you came out of prison? You know, what was your relationship like with your wife when you came out? Was it different than when you went in? You know, was it? Did you have any experience in prison that made it hard for you to adjust when you came out?
I think with the relationship side, let me put it like this. First sentence, I had a missus. And the reason why I'm going to put it this way. First missus, or first sentence, the girlfriend I had some money, yeah? And I never made this mistake after that. I thought to keep her, let her hold this money. And in that sentence, she kept on coming, looking, fly. I was like, raw. I ain't out there. How are you looking fly? And I was thinking, well, I didn't think she had another man. I was thinking, this girl's using my money to buy clothes. But then let's put it, but who's she trying to look fly for? But I'm thinking, now I only thought of that now, but I wasn't thinking that then. I'm just thinking, where are you getting this dough to buy all of these clothes? Then it came, that's my dough. And in the end, she's coming into the visit. She's telling me she's now doing driving lessons. You're a student. How are you doing all of this? I know that ain't no man doing that for you. She's using my money. So that relationship soon done. Quick time. As soon as that happened.
Was she though? Is that what she was doing?
Absolutely. She had to earn up to it. She earned up to it. She says, yeah, like, you know what I mean? You know, it's all your money. And luckily, because I got it quickly, I was managed to save a little bit of money left.
Yeah.
But the thing was, though, what is the essence of that? What was the essence was that was I realized that I tried to keep that bird the wrong way. You know what I'm saying to you?
With money, not love.
With money, but not through love. Absolutely. That was that. Then I come out, and then that's when I met my wife. I've been with her for nearly 23, 24 years now. And we've been married 2 years. Yeah. Now, she's a champion. Now, that relationship, let me put it like this. I got a 10-year sentence, got to do 5. Now, remember, I've just told you I've learned from my mistakes. So she don't know nothing about what I had and all them type of things. And 5 years is a long time. So my first initial reaction was like, they're still boyfriend and girlfriend now.
Yeah.
And I think we had 2 kids. Yes, we had 2 kids then. So I guess it was a bit harder, but I didn't care. This relationship is done. Finito. You're not waiting for me for 5 years because I've been to prison, the first sentence, where I met men, just had a 2-week thing, and the relationship was done. So I'm thinking, how is my wife, who's my wife now, going to be able to stay monogamous? Is that the right word? Faithful.
Yeah, faithful.
Thank you. That's a better word.
And
faithful.
You couldn't expect her to.
Come on, G. I was going to be like, yeah, of course you can't. Of course you can't. So that's why I thought I better do the thing that I ignorantly know best. Dunder down, so I'm not thinking about it. And
How did she feel about that?
absolutely, like one thing I realized. So in that course, in that 5-year course, I realized that we do lots of courses, and in that course, I realized that it's not just me that's doing time. My kids were doing time. So I did a parenting course. It made me realize that kids are also doing time. My wife's also doing time. You know what I mean? And once I got that, I was like, wow. So I was like, so the stress that she was going for, she had 3 kids, 3 kids, yeah, 3 kids actually, 3 kids, yeah. Is it 3 or even 4, G dog? Because like, yeah, I'm saying I said 2 at the first, so actually it's 4. You know what I'm saying to you, dog? When I got the 10-year sentence, 4. So like when I realized this, and some of the imagine she'd have to put all of the kids to come and visit me and all that type of stuff, right? Yeah,
Which ain't nice.
oh, absolutely. So when I realized all of that, what I tried to do was to be a mental support. I couldn't financial support. That was good, but financial support. Remember, I'd done that in my first sentence. That don't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work at all, mate. So I just tried to be a mental support for her. And you know, if she needed to off steam, give it to me, but without having to go back at her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the courses that I did, I will give them. It helped me to realize how to address how she spoke to me, to realize, like you just said, she's also doing time.
I've seen more problems in prison in regards to men and their relationships with their partners and their children. That's caused more trouble or more trauma than anything else. I think is the partner having an affair? It's the same conversation.
Absolutely.
The Dear John letter, all that sort of.
Do you remember the Dear John letter? Yeah. Do you remember the chat? I mean, there was a traveller in this sentence that I just finished.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'm on about?
Yeah.
Oh my God, blood. Oh my days, man. Like the issues that he was having, and it just made me realize what you just said.
Think of his name. Yeah,
I can't remember his name. Oh, did he speak to you about it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
The thing is, when you have an unbalanced partner and you're in prison, you're not very balanced. You can't have a balanced relationship anyway, can you?
Imagine.
I've got a horrible story. I have.
Imagine.
It's my birthday, 19th of December. Shouldn't be saying that online, should I? But anyway, my birthday on the 19th of December. It was 2020, I think it was. And I had a little boy with my son's mother. I don't know whether I should be telling this story now. Sort of.
But you know what? This is bare bones, boy. So get
bare
it out,
bones.
man.
So right, okay, I'm going to say how it is because
Ribcage podcast.
But I'm not throwing no shit. I'm just saying it how it is. It's just like
bare bones, bro.
Bare
Stick to the
bones. So this is
programs.
bare bones. 7 weeks hadn't spoken to her, but we were trying to work some sort of relationship because we had a son together and blah blah blah. But I hadn't spoke. Wanted to be a father to my son, you know.
Healing, bro.
But she hadn't answered the phone in 7 weeks. I had a mobile when I was in prison. I'm inside.
Okay.
So I'm in prison. I've got a mobile. She hadn't texted me 7 weeks. It got to a few weeks. I thought I can't be bothered. Got to my birthday and I was feeling a bit lonely, you know. No one's call. I thought I'm going to give her a call. She answered. Okay, it's like nearly 2 months.
Wow.
It's been a long time.
Is this the bird that?
It's my son's mother. This is.
Okay.
And I says to her. I says, what's going on? I says, well, we've always been 100% open and honest, been friends for 20 odd years. I said, what's going on? I says, can I ask you an honest question? Are you seeing somebody else? She went, yeah, I am, but don't worry, he only comes round every Wednesday night to fuck me.
Oh.
My birthday was on a Wednesday night. So it was going round that night on my birthday. And I was like, put the phone down. I'm like, do you know what? It's sort of like...
how dare her? 1, 2. Is that a sadistic joke or something like that? But it's
I don't know.
It was real.
100% on my life. It's fucking. This is what happened.
Sorry, God, for calling her.
It was. But I'm like, luckily, I had 2 really good friends in the pads next to me, and we used to chat a lot.
Amen.
One of them, he's in Guy's Marsh now. No, Loudon Grange is in. Great,
no names.
Great, no names. Great guy, but yeah, I miss you, buddy. But so we.
Don't give up the nickname if you want.
can give.
You could reference something that they'll know.
Yeah, I won't be in a wheelchair when you get out. So,
Private joke.
yeah, private joke. So where were we anyway on that?
Two
Oh yeah,
guys.
it was.
Two guys.
Yeah, yeah, they came out and I said to them, "Bloody, what was going on?" sort of thing. And luckily, one of them had some weed at the time, so they rolled me up a joint. But it was my birthday, obviously.
While
do you know what
inside,
I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, inside. Yeah,
that.
this
I shouldn't say that, though,
House
bro.
block 6. This was where we
Okay.
were. Same
Okay.
house block. But yeah, fucking that sort of like. I think that was the final. That was the final straw.
What year was this,
that
bro?
broke the camel's back for me in regards
When
to
was this?
relationships. I'm sure it was. I think my son was 3, so it must have been 2020. It must have been 2020.
It's recent, bro.
Yeah, recent. Yeah, yeah. All of this is recent. So like for me, like what's the word? Maneuvering around the obstacles and the relationships and all of that. Like post release, I find really difficult. Really difficult.
I'll tell you something, and I appreciate you, you know, for that, Hawks. Yeah. Not everyone's got a supportive partner. I didn't have that issue. I give thanks to God that I think she chose me. She might not like me saying that. No, she chose me, and she chose me for a reason. And I'm so grateful that she did choose me because I would never change it for the world. I am so happy that a lot of the major decisions she has chose, and I'm so grateful for it because my ignoramus and my childish immaturity was not up to her maturity yet. And it was her maturity decision making. So I'm talking about big decision makings. Her stand with me in good stead today. That's that. I just wanted to give her that props.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Every man is looking for that woman.
Yeah, I got her.
Yeah, and you're lucky.
And I've got her.
I'm not too sure whether I've ever had that, and if I did have it, I probably didn't appreciate that I had it.
Yeah, I still never did. You know what? I still never did because I did some things that, you know, I totally regret. And that's why, again, I'm saying I'm so grateful that I found somebody.
I think, and especially like being released from prison and to have that love, support.
I'm telling you, it's powerful, bro.
Yeah, powerful.
Powerful.
Without that, you really are struggling.
Powerful.
You are. It's a difficult journey
Powerful,
to be able to build those, knock down those barriers and build up that trust.
Can I say something which I feel like is very important? Like, because, you know, in jail we hear a lot, what are you doing? You know, arguments on the phones.
Remember using the cell above me?
Yeah. But, you know, ups and downs. Thank you. Yeah, for real. She used to do my nutting still, but I love her.
Yeah.
That's the beauty, though. Again, because I think some people don't realize that it's good to air it, because if she doesn't air that pain that she's in or the suffering that she's in, and it's invested, the output could be her sleeping with somebody else.
Yeah, because she's gonna self-sabotage, eat away at herself.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so I'm so glad that we had that. And also, I was so glad that I had the maturity to sort of not dislike her for going against something that I said or not liking something that I said. And the maturity to say, don't take it personally. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a key thing. I won't talk to her for a couple of days, but she would answer the phone, because let me tell you, not answering that phone, woo,
Drives you mad.
woo. You get me?
You're stuck in a cell.
Oh,
And it's a Friday or Saturday night. You know everybody out there is having a good time. What happens is you phone up a friend and they're out drinking, having a good time. You put it down. It's like, think, oh God, I wonder what the missus is doing.
horrible, innit?
And then she don't answer. And then she don't answer. You're thinking, and because you're stuck in that little cell, those tiny little doubts and those tiny little anxieties turn into monsters. That take over you.
Monsters.
You're like, you filled that cell up. You're so fucking.
And no one decent enough to tell you that it's all in your head.
Yeah.
because they're all going through the same shit.
Yeah. And everybody's feeding off each other.
Everyone's feeding off each other. Horrible.
My missus is fucking somebody as well. I know
oh
she is.
my
She didn't answer the
God.
phone. She didn't answer the phone last night.
You get me?
She got in at 6 o'clock this morning. All of these sorts of,
Yeah.
and it's constant. It's very hard to maintain a relationship in prison. I've never been able to succeed doing it.
You know what? You said something to me that make me think. When I got out, was I wary? Well, you know what? I managed to get to DCAT. I managed to get to DCAT, and that's why DCAT is so good. So let me explain, because you said something about ACAT and the DCAT.
Yeah.
You know about all of this, yeah?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Can you explain to people what ACAT, BCAT, B, C, and D is?
So when you get arrested and you go to court, if you get remanded into prison, you will be put in a remand prison or a dispersal prison, they're called. And dispersal prisons are BCAT. And the A, B, C, and D, it mirrors the amount of security and the amount of risk that prisoners pose. So in ACAT prison, you can have double ACAT as well. And Woodhill does have a double ACAT inside the ACAT. But Woodhill is, although it's a BCAT dispersal prison, because it's the only one in Northampton, it's also an ACAT. But there are BCAT settled prisons, and this is where sort of long-term prisoners go that aren't going to make it to a CCAT. They've got a lot of work to do.
I'd say
It's
10
generally,
years plus. What years? What years? How many years do you think BCATs? You said these BCATs dispersals, or you're just talking about the BCATs in general?
So you've got two different types. You've got a dispersal BCAT,
Okay.
which basically just gets you into prison, decides what category you are, A, B, or C, and then they will disperse you from that prison to other prisons around your area or the country, depending on how much space there is.
Okay.
But the BCAT settled prisons, they're generally for long-termers that have got a good few years to do, that need to do some courses. Now, CCAT prisons are generally for people at the end of their sentences. They've got very few courses to do, or they've done their courses, and they're getting ready to go out in the community. But DCAT prisons...
You mean community as in getting released?
Getting released.
Yeah, man.
DCAT prisons are for people who have got to the end of their sentence. They don't pose a very high risk, so they're deemed to be somebody suitable to be put in open conditions, which basically means that if you wanted to escape, you could, but generally you're not stupid enough to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you can just said it any better. But one of the most important things that they do in DCAT is they let you have a day release into the public and a homestay, 2 nights, 3 nights, and 4 nights. So I was fortunate enough to go to a DCAT, because also what my pal here Stuart I'm going to add to is depending on your behavior as well, you can go down, can't you?
Oh, of course,
You know what I mean? It's like a bribe thing.
Yeah, of course,
You
yeah.
behave well, from A, you go to B.
Yeah.
From B to C.
But if you're bad, we're going to ghost you out of here, and we're going to stick you to some fucking... We're going to put you in strange ways.
That's what happened to me, that I ended up in the ACAT and I didn't even know. But anyway, that's a different story. Well, I knew it was an ACAT, but I did not know that's what they were sending me. Just ghosted me. So I managed to have a few home visits. Townies, that means you must stay in the area, but home visits where I could stay home and stay with my wife.
Yeah.
And that was so good in the sense of that it wasn't so awkward. I don't know. So I can't imagine it, because I managed to have a home visit. So it wasn't awkward. After, imagine doing 3 years and now, boom,
Yeah, I know.
you're back home.
I tell you, when COVID hit, I was in a park prison, South Wales, and I'd spent 5.5 months in the cell, literally not coming out at all, because they let you out with like 10 people and they're all idiots. And so I literally spent 5.5 months literally behind that door. They brought the food to your door. For 4 months, I did come out because it was getting towards the end, but I came out for like
In the jail
10, 20 minutes a day, into the, not into the jail, just onto the wing. I didn't leave the wing really for 9 months.
Okay.
But I didn't, because I it didn't matter whether it's day or night, or what time just did not matter. It got to that point where I was having like the most craziest sleep patterns, and I was just spending my whole life writing and playing guitar. That's all I did. But when I got out, I went to the train, I got a taxi, got to the train station, wherever that train station was. But they had those wardens, that wear the masks on their face. because it was COVID, telling to put the mask on.
Okay.
Well, I hadn't experienced this.
Okay.
And so I'm on the platform like, freedom.
Yeah.
I'm out.
You just got out.
Just literally got a taxi from the police station, from the prison. I'm like, God, I'm out. Look at this fucking, taking it all in. Like, do you know what?
Man.
Like, it's like fucking at last. I've
Absolutely.
been waiting for this.
Absolutely.
And this woman comes strolling up to me. I'm like this. Like, what's this person? Like, is she a threat? In my head, I've spent so much time by myself. I'm starting to find it really hard to judge shit. And she comes over to me and goes, "Excuse me, could you put your mask on?" I'm like, I turn around to her, I says, "Listen, I've just spent a fucking long time in prison." I says, "Everybody's been telling me what to do for a long time, and you're the first person that's come out and says, just please get away from me."
Yeah.
I was that fucking, I didn't know how to respond to her in a normal way.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to get my head around socialising in a sort of like a
Beautiful.
healthy way.
It's true.
And even
healthy way. Wow.
even now, I
Yeah.
struggle doing it socially in a comfortable way.
So you remember yesterday when we went to that thing?
Yeah.
So we sat down. We went to this thing yesterday, didn't we? Yeah. And we were in front of. I mean, I've been out 7 months now. You've been out 3 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. And we were in a place full of people. Now, in a visit, right? Yeah. You have to sort of wait before, and then they go out first. So let me tell you how I felt.
So let's just what we were doing was giving a talk at a prison to some criminology students, criminology and sociology students.
Correct, yeah.
So we was there with a group of prison
Correct, yes.
workers and everything. So
Correct,
yeah,
yes.
setting the
Correct,
stage.
Correct, yeah, absolutely, yes. So I felt like as if I couldn't speak to these people. I felt like I was beneath these people. I felt like even at the end, I could not move around because I am the criminal. You know what I mean? That's institutionalized.
What was the feeling there that you was feeling?
Tension. I was feeling apprehensive.
What did you feel like almost like ashamed of being you in front of them?
Okay, so check this out. It's funny you said that because even when the officer says, did you hear them sometimes says, also, when use, yeah? I thought, you cheeky little, what do you mean when use?
I did notice that.
Yeah? But,
as if you prisoners.
you know what I mean? Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to
you
you?
scum.
You know? When use, you know what I mean? These will explain it to you. And I thought, you what? But I kind of like just let it ride. You know what I'm saying to you? But what was the question you said?
Was talking about
No, but what was you just asking me now? Did you feel some type of sort of?
Oh yeah, what was the feeling? Because obviously,
feeling tension. There was tension and anxiety, because maybe it was those comments that made me feel derogatory. You know what I mean? It could be because they started it off by saying that. You know what I mean? And I felt derogatized when they said that. But then I had to get myself out and say, look, they don't mean it.
You're not taking it personally.
Don't take it personally, exactly. Yeah. But they need to learn not to say things like that. But however, you're right, don't take it personally. Yeah. And then somehow it made me, I started feeling institutionalized. Like, again, the visit. In a visit, you have to wait and let them go first. But I remember sitting there thinking, I can't move. They've got to go first.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm free.
Yeah, they've got to give the orders.
You know what I'm saying to you?
Well, when we walked out there and I saw those officers, straight away I was like...
Did you get did you?
I'm trying to think what I should be doing.
Come on, man.
Am I following orders?
Come on.
Am I going to the place which I should be going?
Come on, man.
It gets ingrained into you.
It does. Even with like at home, because you said something about like social cues. Even at home sometimes. Remember, I'm a single pad, so I enjoy my own company. You know what I mean? I do. Yeah. I can handle my own company. So even coming home, now I'm like you said, 2x5 or whatever measurements you said. That's all you clean. Yeah. But you know what? I don't mind cleaning the yard though. Yeah. But I'm cleaning for myself. I'll clean the yard, but I'm cleaning the yard because I'm the only one living in there. But I've got 4 kids and a wife. Yo, I used to get muzza because what I'll try to do, I'm shouting, yeah. What I'll try to do,
Passion.
I'll do the jail routine. 9 o'clock, do what the cleaners do, clean up.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, try to cook some food, right?
Yeah.
Try to live by that, yeah?
Yeah.
Then in the evening, I try to clean, cleaners have
Yeah,
to clean
yeah.
again quickly.
Yeah.
Them type of things then.
Yeah.
I even went to gym at night time on Wednesdays, like we used to do.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, I did. But sooner or later, and while I was doing that, they would just come and mess up the yard. And I had to let go. But it annoyed me. It annoyed me for a while that they're messing it up. But I'm not living by myself now.
Oh, no.
So I had to readjust. That was hard. That was the bit that was hard for me.
Yeah.
That was the bit that was hard for me. What about? Because you said social cues. So what about? Did you stick to your routine of getting out for a bit? I'm intrigued.
What do you mean for getting out for a bit?
Okay, so like I said to you, on Monday, 9 o'clock, I'll try to wake up. Gym, when did you have Friday mornings? I'll go to gym at 6
Friday
o'clock.
morning gym. Went to
At
gym
6 o'clock in the morning. Because remember, we used to go
is that what you did?
What you took? I went to gym 6 o'clock
Was
in the
this
morning on
recently,
Fridays. Yes, blood, this sentence, man.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean?
Listen, no one about since you've been out, have you been doing
That's
the same?
right. That's what I was doing. That's what I'm saying to you, man.
Still now?
No, but I have exactly.
That makes me feel a bit better because I've been promising to go back to the gym for a week now. So I broke my toe because I had a month off and I've been putting off. But in my head, I was thinking exactly the same.
Did you do it?
No, I haven't done it. I was meant 2 days. I promised myself Monday and it never happened.
But the routines. So what I'm getting at is the routine.
Yeah.
Did you stick to some of the routine?
Yeah, of course.
That the gel had you do when you got out?
Yeah, do you know what I was fucking doing when I got out of prison? I was going to Lidl and I was buying noodles and tuna.
I did. I used to eat. Well, my wife does the shopping. Blesses.
I'll go to the supermarket to go and get some nice food that I've wanted to eat for fucking ages, and all of a sudden I can't think what I'm going to eat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy some tuna and noodles because I've been eating that every day, 3 times a day for the last fucking year.
Oh, do you know I got pissed? I got peed off that much. Yeah, I wanted the same noodles because the noodles that I said I was.
All right. You know how much I like my coffee. I love my coffee. It's like my big thing. So every morning, without fail, I have a cafetiere. I make myself a nice coffee.
Yeah.
Run out of coffee. I'm screwing. Can't get my coffee in the morning. So I run up to the local shop from where I'm staying. I go in. I buy the only filtered coffee they got. I run back, make my coffee, and I go like this. Here's my cup. Just made a coffee. Fuck me, that's good. What the fuck's that? And I looked, it was Jacob's Kurung, the coffee that I've been buying in prison for the last fucking 6 years. And all of a sudden I'm like, God, this is like the best cup of coffee I've ever had in my fucking life. So now I only drink Jacob's Kurung coffee.
That's the way.
So I've been drinking it in prison for years, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
I've been conditioned to like it.
Oh, so you can't drink no other brand?
Now, obviously I can, but
you prefer that.
I prefer that one.
Yes, that's like me with my noodles. Yeah, because when I had the noodles, the noodles, it didn't taste the same as prison, and I was not happy.
What, the really shit
I can't believe it.
ones? They're Coley, are
they? But they're banging, bro.
Which one, the chicken ones or the curry ones?
Whichever one. But I used to buy the gok as well. I prefer the gok.
Yeah,
but I don't know. But that was. My wife went to is it Lidl or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know why we should shout that out because they don't sponsor us, but we'll give them the shout out anyway. Yeah, right. Yeah, she would come and bring some noodles, and I done the noodles right. Yeah, I done the noodles with the mackerel, and it didn't taste the same. The out here noodles is not the same as the gel noodles, and I cook food in the microwave as well.
Do you know how sad this is as well?
Go on.
When I go into a shop, and it's usually like the small, like the cheap shops on the corners or like the bargain places. But when I go in there, if I see something that I've eaten in prison, like the biscuits, like the custard cream biscuits.
Okay, do you buy them?
I buy them.
Yeah, come on, bro.
I don't know why, because they're so shit.
Come on.
But it's almost like comfort food.
Come on. I mean, like, but I'm good to the bar. I haven't been. Well, the things that I do eat, I'm trying to replicate it with the same brand actually.
I know, yeah.
And I can't find them. It don't taste the same. But that is bad.
But you know what I'm doing though? Like I said, I'm going to get back to the gym. And you said you was going Friday morning, Wednesday night. Yeah. I said to myself in my head, I'm going back to gym. I've had a month off. What's going to be my routine? Straight away, my routine was, I'm going to go Wednesdays, Fridays, Sunday.
You know what I mean?
Exactly the same
And I
thing.
did Sundays as well.
And
I was doing Sundays
what
as well.
food? What food am I going to get from Lidl or bigger again for Lidl? But we're not. You know. What food am I going to go and get? And I'll go there and I will get the stuff that I was eating and training with in prison because it's almost like
and
it's weird.
It's Mazza, innit?
It's weird.
It's Mazza, man. It is Mazza. Like that is Mazza. That is actually Mazza, man. But you know what I'm gonna say from that is, it's taking the good from it, and it's not a bad thing because going to the gym helps mental health, isn't it? And
tuna noodles ain't that fucking unhealthy, is it?
Unhealthy, you know what I'm saying to you, G, man. So and the routine as well. It's not a bad routine. Friday morning, Wednesday night.
The thing is, though,
yeah.
I know. So I didn't. Obviously, I've only just recently realised that I'm autistic. I didn't realise how much a routine is integral.
It's so important,
and not having change in my life. It's so to keep that. And I think that's why, in some ways, prison suited me because I knew whatever time it was, even a weekend, I knew exactly what I was doing, and I actually sort of found comfort in that. And I struggle a little bit being out now, having so many variables and so much going on, and so little structure in my life. Or,
I hear that.
or no, that's like I have got structure in my life, but it's not to where I want it to be.
I hear you.
So yeah, it's difficult. That's a difficult thing to navigate as well. The routine. You have a nice routine, don't you?
It's true. No, that's a very good point there, and I used to wonder, and I wonder if it is that throws you off the scent, throws you off your work or off your mission, not having that wretched, when I say wretched, not in a bad way, that strict routine. You banged up by 6 o'clock. And listen, when you're banged up by 6 o'clock, you're in bed by 10.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in bed by 10.
So
simple.
What time do we get that out of cells then, on average?
So I'd say maybe 7:30, innit? 7:30, 8 o'clock.
No.
In Hill.
Yeah, it was 8:30, wasn't it?
It
was 8 o'clock. 8:30.
Yeah,
go to
get your meds.
9.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Unless you had your meds and you got that out
a bit early. Yeah.
And then you was at work till
11:30, 11:30,
12.
quarter to 12. Yeah.
Then you'd be banged up back behind the door
till about 1:30.
1:30, and then you'd be out until after food.
Yeah, till about 3:30. Back on the wing at 3:30.
Yeah.
3:30. Then food 4 o'clock. 1.5 hour sort of.
Tops.
You know what I'm saying, yeah. So you're banged up by 6.
At the latest.
At the
it can
latest.
be 5 o'clock, 5:30.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's
every day.
Every day.
Come on.
And weekends actually,
5 o'clock.
Yeah, you get banged up earlier and you get let out later.
Oh,
and if you're not working, then you don't get out anyway.
You don't get let out at all, G. So, you're stuck in that 5x2, 23 hours, man.
And the other things, but you know, a lot of people, especially and this is British people,
painful, man.
They'll say, bang them up and throw away the key. But because they say that we're getting it too easy. But if you saw the state as what some of these sounds were, they are worse than a kennel, is the only way I can describe it. Filthy, dirty toilets.
But you know what? I want to agree with you, but I'm going to disagree with you if I can.
Go on.
Some people don't have nothing like that at all, mate.
Some people have it nice. Some people.
Exactly. I had mine nice, right? I painted it all up and all that stuff.
Most people don't, though.
But even to have the basic amenities, if that's the right word, some people didn't even have that at their yard. So for me, I just thought for them to even have the basic amenities to be able to rest their head, have a shit, brush their teeth, as if they choose to, and yeah, those 3 things: sleep, shit, and brush their teeth, and eat, because they get fed 3 times a day. You're all right. And I think that's why some of them, I'd love to actually speak to the ones. I remember I told you about in one of our previous podcasts about Calvin. He came in 4 times before I got out, and I was only in there for 7 months. But it's just, why? What is it that made you? And I'm saying why, because I don't know the answer. What was it that just brought them to come back?
Some people have got more in prison than they have outside. And that's a God's honest truth.
And that's my point. So like when people are trying to say, "Oh, listen," I think it's even a 2x5 can be a mansion to some people.
No, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Oh, some people are living the dream in there. But if somebody from the outside looked in, they're not living the dream at all. They're living in squalor. They're living in fucking. Do you know what I mean? But for them, They don't need nothing else. They've got as much spice as they want to smoke. They can get pre-gabs, Subutex. A bit of crack heroin comes along, that's going to be there for them. They're getting fed.
Yeah, you'll talk about the squalor and all those type of things. Yeah,
There's a lot of badness. There is.
yes. So it's a lot of badness. It's a lot of badness. I mean, do you remember the Somalian fella? You know, and not all Somalians are nasty, but I only remember him because he was Somalian. And he was a little bit.
I do remember.
And his place of abode, his cell was absolutely. I felt for him, man, because everybody who used to want to go into, I don't know whether the officers were trying to take the mick out of the people who were going to join them, or they just had to put him in there, because I thought it was so wrong. You know what I mean? Because his cell was.
I've walked past. I can remember on the.
You know what I'm on about now, don't you?
I know exactly who you're on about. I can remember I was walking on the Twos landing, and I got up earlier for some reason. I don't know what it was, and they let. I was going for a meeting, so they let me out. But as they let me out, the officers just come along, two of them, and opened up all the cells really quickly. Okay. They all opened up at the same time as I was walking past. And because there's no ventilation in there, the extractor fans don't work, and all of the vents are all closed up with dust and crap. You get this like humid heat that builds up in the pads. And I can remember all the doors open. I was walking past it. It was always like hold your breath, breathe, hold your breath, breathe.
Go past a certain door.
Yeah, most of them, to be honest, along that, it's just fucking.
On the Twos.
Yeah.
On the Twos.
Yeah.
What side?
All past you. All past you.
Huh?
Who was? Anyway, let's not go in.
Let's damn right go into that. I was on the end.
Honestly, how many really clean pads and people are there on each wing?
Okay.
Not many. You'll have people that are polishing their floors and painting their rooms, and they keep it nice.
Oh, they used to make me laugh though. Them ones there.
Yeah,
oh my god, they keep the polish. Yeah,
like they're fucking polishing in a piece of gold or something. It's madness.
Nice,
but you then have those that look after themselves, look after their pads, and look after themselves and keep them clean.
Yes, and keep it tidy.
I think that's 10%
of the people
of the population.
Wow.
I think the other 90% of people, they shower once every few days.
Wow.
You go to their pads and they haven't got many clean clothes, and it's fucking dirty. They've got dirty plates and everything, and that smell and that accumulation of dirt.
Think so? I'm going to disagree with you,
I'm 100. I'm going to say I'm 99% sure.
I'm disagree with you, bro. Like, oh no, it can't be, man. Nah, because like, it can't be.
I just remember that there's certain pads that I that were clean enough to go into, and there's other pads I just didn't want to go in. And even when I was doing my job,
was there more of them then?
Far more. Some pads I didn't want to sit down in them.
Wow.
You go like that, and it's like, that's not right. That's not.
You know, I kept myself to myself.
I know you. I know.
I kept myself to myself. Yeah.
But I think it's got better over the years, to be quite honest. And obviously, private prisons are a hell of a lot better than HMPs. But
have I ever done a private prison?
Not been to Oakwood.
No. I heard about it. It was a good prison.
Really good prison.
Dovegate, I think, was the only one. That was a private.
That's private, yeah.
That was private.
Serco, isn't it? I think.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's one thing I've also sort of like found in prison, which leads on to the next thing, is I don't make a lot of friends, and you know, you get this mad perception that you know, they're all dodgy and all that type of things and all that type of things there. But what do you think? Like, do you think they're decent? Do you think there's decent people in there?
Listen, people, and this is what hurts me more than anything. I've met some of the kindest people.
Yeah, you said that before, actually.
In my life in prison.
You said that.
I've met some people that really have had an impact on my life. And don't get me wrong, there are bad people in prison, like there's bad people outside. And there's good people in prison, like there's good people outside.
Good point.
But
Good point.
But more than, do you know...
That's a high yoke.
But do you know what's really...
No. Did you hear what I just said?
I did, yeah.
That's a psychic bird kick. That's a yoga flame. That's a yoga flame comment there. You know, there's bad people out here, like there is bad people in there.
It's exactly the same.
That's a yoga flame.
There's no difference. But do you know, I think you're in like a small community like that.
Wow.
And building friends and maintaining relationships in prison.
Wow.
You almost need your little tribe in prison. You need a family. You need something. some people get it through religion, through going to mosque or church or whatever. Some people get it through going through the gym. Do you know what I mean? Other people are musically, whatever it is. But you need your little tribe in prison to keep you going. I never went to the gym at all until I went to prison, and I was so depressed I didn't get out of bed.
You were strong, man.
I was suicidal at the time. I was suicidal.
Oh man.
And I had
In prison?
In prison. This is 2016, 2017. And I used to have a Alan is his name, and I haven't seen him. Really good friend. Do you know what I mean? I look back now.
I'm saying, G.
And he used to come every morning, and he used to kick my door like that, bang, and it used to big metal doors, go bang against the fucking the wall, wake me up, get your gym cut on, and going down gym. Nah, Alan, I ain't doing it, mate. I ain't doing it. I'm too depressed. Pull the duvet over. Get the duvet off me. Get the fuck up. And he used to do that to me. He did that at the time. You could go to gym twice a day, and so every day, 5-6 days a week, he was taking me down the gym. And what he actually did, he made me work out that a way for me to be able to do it. When I get depressed now, I actually want to exercise because something inside me knows that it works. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like
beautiful.
But I there's been so many people that I've met in prison and formed very like good friendships that I don't see anymore. But they were some of the closest friends I'll probably ever have in my life. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I met you, do you know what I mean, in prison.
I was just about to say, I'm glad, Hawks, that I met you, because, and this is one thing I'm going to put it to you. Do you think that the people that you meet who are being nice to you, that did that to you, are fake or are real?
They were real.
Yeah.
They were.
I think so as well.
And I think more real than when you're in prison, you are stripped back to the bare bones, aren't you? Literally bare bones. You've got nothing. Yeah. You can't hide anything because you're with these people 24/7. You're eating with them. You're talking to them. You're fucking sleeping in the same room with me. You're training at the gym with them. Everything you're doing for months on end.
It's true.
You can't hide your true nature, your true personality.
They're real because they care about you. They don't want to see you depressed. They don't want to see you down.
Exactly.
Don't let the system beat you. They're on that same tip as well, aren't they?
The same path. And it's almost like when you see someone like that saying, come on, bro.
Yeah.
You're with us.
Yeah, come on.
Be strong.
Absolutely.
Come to the gym, train with us.
Absolutely.
Let's get ready for war.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? So that's what it was for me. I was just getting ready for war, mental war and physical war. I don't know what it was.
No, that's so true, that is. Because also, I remember that kid, I can't remember his name, lovely lad, the number one on the servery. You know what I mean?
Fitzy?
No, not Fitz. Shout out to Fitz.
Oh.
The other fella, you know what I mean? I thought he was all right. I don't know if people, but I thought he was all right. I can't remember his name. Michael, I think, or something like that. Okay, yeah. And you remember what he was doing for the people who didn't have no food and no money, where he would go upstairs, he would collect all the leftovers,
food, and then go back and once a week give
amazing. Come on, man,
amazing.
Like, to think that, and there was a lot of greedy
Let me just
people.
explain that, because so you get your set food, the prison get you set food, but if you're working on Surbury, occasionally, if people aren't greedy, there will be extra sponge cake, or there might be extra crisps, or there might be a little bit of it, whatever it is, breakfast packs, milk sachets, whatever it might be. There's some left over. So this one lad, I forget what his name is, because I trained with him for fucking months and months and months.
Awesome guy.
And wrote a letter for the judge for him, but I can't. But what he used to do is, at the end of each day on server, he used to collect up all the leftovers. So like the dry stuff, not like the food. Put it in a box. Then every Saturday morning, he would do little packs, weekend packs, and it'd have like a pack of biscuits in there and a bag of crisps.
Yeah, cakes,
noodles, all sorts of bits and bobs. So those that didn't have a lot at least had something if they didn't have a canteen come in.
Absolutely.
And it was you have these individuals in prison that do this sort of shit, and they're just totally ignored. Do you know what I mean? Probably doing more good than most of the officers. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But there's some, people aren't evil. Have you ever met an evil person in prison? Honestly, evil. 100% evil.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Or
you know what our class is evil? Vindictive. Physical is not just physical.
Yeah, it's everything.
Vindictive.
Manipulative.
Like conniving.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've met a lot of people like that. Yeah.
See, for me, I've met a lot of bad people. I've met a lot of good people. But I've only ever met one evil person. I believe all of those good people and bad people have just made mistakes. Do you know what I mean? But that one person that I met, he was called the Marlow Murderer, and it was in Woodall actually, and I didn't know who he was. And every time I walked past him or around him, do you know?
Talking about friends.
I literally couldn't walk past him. I had to go around. He gave me the shivers. He did some horrible, nasty shove. But yeah, friends. Yeah, going back to friends.
But again, though, let's go there. Let's go there because I've seen some podcasts where people have chatted. I don't know where I should go there, but I've gone there now, so I'm going to go through the door. Where they've chatted to, what's that guy who only meant to do 5 years, but now, you know, he's done over 30 something. Bronson.
Yeah.
And they say he's a cool guy. You know what I mean? They said he's a cool guy. But Bronson's completely different to somebody who's done some, you know, some nasty stuff. So that's why I thought, ooh, okay, maybe there are similarities, but also circumstances that make it possible for you to want to engage with that person. You know, if you,
the thing is though, in prison, like friendship wise, sometimes it's very hard to find somebody that's on your wavelength. You've got to think on each wing you've probably got between, I don't know, say 60 and 120 prisoners depending on the wing.
Yeah.
And it's very unlikely that you're going to form a close relationship with one of those people, like as a close friend, because, you know, I don't form friends very easily anyway. So to form, yeah, it's sort of a lot of the time, most of your friendship group, it's almost more than for me it was acquaintances.
Absolutely, brother.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, just to keep yourself ticking over.
This prison friend thing, I'm definitely hook up when we get out, bro. Yeah, we're going to do this. We even said, well, we'll see each other and get back. And I thought, I don't know, maybe we are, maybe. Yeah, bro, we're going to hook up, and it's bullshit. It's just prison friends.
With you, I knew that I was going to hook up with you. With you, I knew that anyway.
Yeah, but the weird thing about was I was with George, who obviously usually does the podcast with us, and I just said to him, so I just got out, and I said, like, you know, a geezer called Deo from Coventry, so I didn't have your number. And he goes, I've just been on the phone to his brother, Will. I was like, nah. Yeah. It's weird how things...
I knew, because like you said, there's not many, you know, there isn't many. You keep it civil because you need to, you know, associate to keep your time ticking. But like, when you do have a conversation with people, and like you said, like-minded people, you kind of sort of like, as a 45-year-old man now that I am, I kind of know that, okay, you don't need friends to survive. I've got my family, so I'm blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, so when if I'm going to have a friend, that friend has to mean a friend. You know what I mean? It has to mean a friend, man, bro. I mean, we have not been tested yet, but what I do know is that you bring me growth. That's why we do the podcast together. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. You bring me growth. And I'm not talking growth of materialistic stuff and all that type of stuff. Personal growth. You know what I mean? You know, and that from my experience now, those are the type of friends that I want in my life. You know what I mean?
That's the journey that we're both going on, aren't we? And I think
everybody is, don't you think?
But I think we're aware of it. I think a lot of people want to go on a journey of growth, but they're not aware of how to grow.
Exactly.
And I think when we was in prison together, we were both sort of like we totally understood what we wanted to do. We just weren't too sure how we was going to do it. Would that make sense?
Well, maybe speak for yourself.
Well, maybe. Well, I certainly did. When I was in there, I thought, well, I know the sort of career, or I know the sort of who I want to be and what I want to be. I'm just not really too sure how I can get there, but I knew that I could do some things in prison that would help me do that. Do you know what I mean? So I've come out and sort of like that path has continued. Well,
and I think that's why I linked up with you. I think I get what you mean now, because and that type of growth transcends to people who are trying to be that same way.
But you don't get many people like that in prison.
No. I think so. For me, look, when I was still doing my thing here on the roadsides, I linked up with enough people. Boy, it's landed me back in the same place.
Yeah, of course it did. Yeah.
So, if you are trying to be, I don't know if politically correct is the right word. And that's why I said real friend, then I don't believe, if you're lucky, you will come out with even one person's detail that you'll beat in jail. because the percentage of people, good people in jail, on that higher growth is very low.
Yeah, it is.
They
Yeah.
all still want to be drug dealers. They all still want to be gangsters.
Yeah.
They all still want to be hustlers.
Yeah.
They all still want to be pimps. They all still want to be high flyers.
Because nobody's been there to open their eyes up to who they really want to be. They want to be all of these things because they like the status. It's the ego.
They're still
They
got
want
on
the-
that. They're still
yeah,
on that.
they're still on that, yeah.
They're still on that. They're still on that. You know. I'm happy. I'm happy. You know. I'm happy that, you know, I met you. There's one person, and you gave me his number one time. Remember, you said I'm not going to say the name. He called you. He called you and said, yeah, he asked for me.
Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, of
Now
course.
that was probably the other person that I probably would have, but I was very disappointed when I got to see his true colors. Because, like you said, when you're in there, we are naked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not fully, no, like, you know, literally.
Yeah.
That's the person who comes and genuinely shows you that support. You're hoping it's real. But then, if you see you get found out. No, I was going to say if you see a change. So I did see a change.
Yeah,
so you get found out.
You can only put on a mask for so long.
You get found out,
Yeah,
bro.
of course you do, yeah.
get found out, and I think he got because a boy like him, you can see how he didn't get nothing, you know, handed down. You know what I mean? He had to work for it. So there was something. I got something from him, which not when you told me, I was like, I thought about it. I thought about it for ages because we had plans. We had plans.
Yeah, I've actually forgotten. I haven't spoken to him since. I did actually.
We had
forget.
plans, we had ideas of what we were going to do and things like that. But the way he changed, or the way he was,
This is relationships in prison, though, and they are very quick and volatile, and things can change quickly.
and so important. And I'm so
people move quickly. You make a good friend, and then they've gone to a different prison, or they've been released, and you've got no friend again.
I'm so glad of the growth that I took to know that even though when you called me, or even in there, I knew that this guy was not the guy for me.
Yeah.
Because some people, if they haven't grown, they will end up linking that guy and taking you down the wrong path.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, building friendships. What did you say? Building friendships are good. Building
Well, yeah,
friendships.
yeah. Obviously, I find it hard to build friendship relationships. I found it even harder in prison because there wasn't a lot of people around in
decent.
there. But the friends that I did make were true friends.
Yeah, proper.
Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
Absolutely,
So, yeah.
I hear that.
I didn't waste my time on all of these.
Yeah, that's powerful. A true friend.
And I miss a
would
lot
agree.
of they're not just friends, they're good people. They are good people that are in the community doing good things. You know, so they're not
Powerful.
yeah.
Powerful. Yeah, so I mean, on that note, big man, Mr. Hawks, it's always a pleasure having you. Shout out to George. You ain't gonna forget you, George. You know what I'm saying
we
to
love you, brother.
You get me? And it's always a pleasure sharing, you know, what we went through, our thoughts in our head. I feel like this is what this is about for me. Talking about the thoughts in my head, what I went through, the ups, the shit that I smell, how I dealt with that.
I
You know
think
what I mean?
I think what we've done is I'm hoping what we've done is we've created a picture for people to have a look at. So on future podcasts, they might have something that they can, do you know what I mean, reflect off.
Is that what you want? Is that what you're hoping for?
I'm hoping that we've created a picture because obviously my passion is to educate people and make people aware of how bad the criminal justice system is. If we can paint a picture of what it was for us, and then in future podcasts, that can be used as a reference, you know. Then,
powerful.
Then it may. This is
Powerful.
what I'm hoping. For me, this is about men's trauma, growing to be the man that you want to be.
Yeah, I hear
You know,
that.
so you know,
I hear
let's
that.
move forward with that.
Two guys talking about what they went through in prison and that.
Or maybe just two fucking idiots, two idiot prison
I don't know about
leavers,
that,
blabbering
I
along.
don't know about two idiots, mate. I ain't no idiot.
We're-
You know what I'm saying?
Kings. Two lions.
That's just the serious part of me coming out there, Hawks. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so lightweight, light work I meant, yeah. But listen, lessons on love.
Of course, always Deo and
Ribcage.
Ribs Cage
Let me get it.
podcast.
Ribcage podcast. We're out.